is being considered for introduction, as I indicated earlier. So, and this would assist in tackling, the backlog of cases. And as I have indicated, those cases or where we are experiencing the backlog cases is primarily at the Office of the Labor Commissioner, as well as a slow turnaround time in terms of the finalizations of the drafting of bills, but also in terms of the liquidations and the distributions of deceased estate at the masters of the High Court. So it's therefore our conviction that through the legal graduate internship programs, we will somehow get assistance that would boost up the capacity at those offices. Further, we are also working to repeal and replace the outdated Administration of Estate Act. In this regard, we hold a firm conviction that this change will protect the beneficiary, streamline the processes, and improve transparency going forward. In conclusion, I would like then to take this opportunity to underscore that none of the progress that I have reported or highlighted here would not be possible or would not have been possible had it not been for the efforts of our staff, which represent or constitute the most important asset of the ministry. So I therefore want to say bravo to them and for their dedication. Equally, the ministry is not an island, so we continue to be part of the system, and we employ system thinking in whatever we do, and part of the system thinking, or the integral part of a system thinking, is stakeholder management or stakeholder recognition. So we continue to value the role that various stakeholders are playing in the realizations of the mandate of the ministry. So I want therefore to again unequivocally say bravo to our stakeholders. Our intention, and with it we mean well, it remains that of building a justice and labor system that is equitable, just and inclusive. A justice and labor system that is truly serving, all the Namibian people fairly, efficiently, and with dignity. So with that, I thank you so much again for the platform.
Honorable, thank you for your time that you took to brief the nation. Now, according to the Namibian Sun newspaper, an article on the front page reported that Honorable Philemon Wise Emmanuel has allegedly called on Fisheries Minister Honorable Inge Damani to intervene and halt the alleged payment of salaries to fishermen at Wallfish Bay, commonly referred to as Okapare fishermen. Now I hand over to Honorable to clarify on this statement as read. Honorable, speak to us.
Well, thank you very much once again, Grace, for the opportunity, and I'm actually very delighted that you endeavor to get clarity with regards to that position. The first thing that I want to make very clear is that the Sun newspaper of yesterday, what was the date yesterday? 25th September 2025, misrepresented the positions of the ministry and the positions of government insofar as that issue is concerned. It made the article made reference to my letter that I wrote to my counterpart at the Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Fishery and Land Reform. And I want to put the record very clear that I have never, not in terms of the letter that I have written, and not in terms of any of my pronouncement, either in the boardroom or on public platform, called for the stopping of the salary or the wages of those workers. And I will contextualize that in a short while. What we have a problem with as a ministry and as a government, we have a problem with companies that has been given quota by the government in order to create employment for the former fishermen. Quotas were then given on the strength and on the conviction that those companies are going to provide employment as intended under the government redress program. What then continued to be reported is that those companies have provided employment, and those people are employed as we speak. But what is then coming, to us as a ministry that is responsible for labor relation is that some of those people are not actually providing any service. They are simply being given wages, and those wages is not in exchange for labor. Now, the principle of labor law is that, and if one has regard to the Labor Act, an employment is a relationship between an employer and an employee, in terms of which, so the employee or the worker or the laborer is expected to provide his labor, and in exchange for his labor, the employer must pay for that labor. Now, when we have people that have received quotas from government to go create employment, so that through those employment, so they then contribute to the GDP of this country through the labor of those workers. But they do not go and create employment, but rather go and pay people behind walls while they are not providing for or providing labor. That is it's a gross misrepresentation to government. It's a gross misrepresentation to government, and we acknowledge that there is no liability that must be apportioned or attributed to the workers that are in any event being paid through those arrangements. But we have issue with the employers that are ostensibly misrepresenting the factual position to government. And we are saying that is unacceptable, that is it's impermissible. And as a result of that, I have then written to the Minister of Agriculture, Water, Fishery and Land Reform for his ministry, because it's the one that is responsible for the awarding of quotas, to investigate those companies that continue to misrepresent to government that they employ people, while in fact they don't employ people. Those companies that continue then to pay those workers, saying that they are employed while they are not employed. And again, I want to stress it, that insofar as we are concerned and what we are picking up is that that misrepresentation is primarily and essentially coming from the side of the employer, the companies that's supposed to employ these people. And we then expect the companies simply to come forward and tell the truth. That, look, you have initially awarded this quota to us to employ these people, but we are unable to. so that we know what the factual position is, rather than being, being misled all the time that the people are employed, and while there are some that are not employed. So I also want to put it on record that this information, in fact, we are getting from some of the workers that find themselves in that situation. Those workers, we applaud them for being honest, and being patriotic citizens of this country by coming forward and bringing this information to us. And we now know, and hence my request to my counterparts, for a probe to be commissioned into the contacts of those companies.
Okay, Honorable. Now, the letter that Honorable is referring to that was written to the Minister of Fisheries reads as follows. Dear Honorable Minister, subject, allegations regarding fishermen who are stationed at Okapare and receiving wages without rendering services. The above subject refers. Namibian labor law is premised on the principle that remuneration is due in exchange for work performed or for legally recognized absence, e.g., leave of prescribed kind. There continues to be allegations regarding employers in government redress program that are paying workers who are neither attending work nor legally absent from work. The practice as per paragraph 3 clearly and squarely violates the principle under paragraph 2 above. Further, the perpetuity of this practice while the employers report to the government that employees are attending work does not only border on misrepresentation, but may as well constitute potential corrupt elements, if not fraud. Attached hereto are the names of the workers who are allegedly still stationed at Okapare while they continue receiving wages without rendering services. May your good office kindly facilitate the verification on the allegations of payment in exchange of no work. Also, please advise all designated entities that paying wages when no service is rendered is both irregular and corrupt. Hence, they must desist from it or else face the legal consequences. Please accept, Honorable Minister, the assurance of my highest esteem and consideration. Yours sincerely, Minister Philemon Wise Emmanuel. Minister, any final remarks on this?
Correct. So that's the letter and the content of it. To say that the one, as I said earlier, wage is in exchange of labor. Okay. So this company are then paying people that are not rendering labor. And through rendering of labor by any worker in this country, we are building this economy. We are contributing to the GDP. And when one then, especially one that is benefiting from a targeted program by government, that person is cheating government and is cheating the citizens of this country. That's why that particular issue needs to be probed insofar as the conduct of the companies are concerned. But there is no wrongdoing insofar as I'm concerned from the workers who themselves reached out to give us, their names and say that, look at the companies that we were designated to.
Viewers and listeners, that is all we had for you this afternoon at the Government Information Center. From us here, it's goodbye until next week.